Hey everybody, Mrs. Herman here. We are going to check in real quick on how to make a two-way table. So a two-way table is just a different way to list all of your outcomes. It serves the same purpose as a tree diagram. It just looks different. So it's really just personal preference as to which diagram you prefer, the two-way table or the tree diagram. Or it might depend on the situation for probability that you're solving. One might lend itself better to one over the other. So that's up to you, but it's important that you know how to do both of them. So a two-way table, we're going to do the first example with dice. A two-way table works when you've got two events. So for example, I'm rolling either two dice or I'm rolling a die twice. So we make our table. Okay, when I'm rolling this die, I list all my options for my event one along the top. So I could roll a 1, I could roll a 2, I could roll a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. And then the same thing goes for the second die. I could roll a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Now, we're going to specify this one. You could list it by either like a 1-1, a 1-2, 1-3, or I could also list this as the sums. So dice sums is how I'm going to do this one. So for example, what's the probability of getting an even sum? Or what would the probability be of getting something greater than 10 for the sum? Okay, so we would go ahead and we'd add the 1 plus 1 would give me 2. 1 plus 2 would give me 3, 4. You can see what's kind of happening here. Okay. Then in the next row, I have the 2 plus that 1. So this would be a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we all know that the biggest sum we could get with two regular six-sided dice would be 12, and the smallest sum we could get is a 2, and everything falls in between. But you can easily tell they're not equally likely. If I look at this, the 7 is the thing that occurs the most in my table, looking along this way. So we're going to go ahead and first figure out the probability that I'm going to have an even sum. So if I go through and just highlight all the even numbers, okay, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 out of, it's a 6 by 6, so it's 36. So in other words, that's the same as I've got a 1 out of 2 chance of getting an even sum. They are equally likely. Then I'm going to move on to the probability of my sum being greater than 10. So I'm going to circle those with my pen for this one. So I'm only going to circle things greater than 10. So that's not including 10. So I can only really get those 2 11s in 2 different ways or a 12. So I only have a 3 out of 36 chance probability. Okay, and you can simplify that as well. Or a 1 out of 12 chance of getting a sum greater than 10. So that's one way to make a two-way table with 2 different events happening. You're listing all of those outcomes. Okay, here's one more. We're going to go back to that mocha cookie frappuccino from the yesterday. And instead, you saw what it looked like as a tree diagram. I'm going to show you how it looks like in a two-way table. So the 2 events that we had were choosing tall grande venti, and then the second event was either mocha drizzle or cookie topping. So when I'm listing this out, I can list one event along the top. I could choose tall, I could choose a grande, or I could choose a venti. And then I only had 2 choices along here. My only 2 choices were mocha drizzle or cookie topping. So you could list this by saying I could get a tall mocha drizzle, a grande mocha drizzle, or a venti mocha drizzle because they meet there in the table. Down here, it's going to be a tall cookie topping, a grande cookie topping, and a venti cookie topping. And I can very easily see from here, if I want to find the probability of having a drink that is a grande, well, I'm going to look for, there's 6 total, and I've got 2 of them that have grandes in them. So I've got a 2 out of 6 chance, or 1/3, of having a drink that is a grande. Or what's the probability of having something, a venti mocha drizzle? Well, there's only one box that has venti mocha drizzle all in it out of 6. So this is only a 1 out of 6 chance. So those are ways you can make two-way tables. I like two-way tables. I just feel like they're a little more organized for me, but I know a lot of people that prefer to do tree diagrams as well. Like I said, depending on the situation, you might want to use one over the other, but it's important that you know how to make both of them. So here's how you make a two-way table. All right, everybody.